years after the original Karate Kid in 2018, Cobra Kai hit laptop screens around the world via YouTube Red. The story follows the washed-up Johnny Lawrence, who wrestles with the success of his childhood rival, Daniel LaRusso, and reluctantly becomes the sensei he always wished he had, revitalizing Cobra Kai Dojo. Now on Netflix, following YouTube Red's transformation into YouTube Premium, with 4 seasons under its karate belt, Cobra Kai has gained a dedicated fan base in its own right. Today, we're looking at 30 facts you might not have known about the hit show about hitting people. Fact number 30. Only one member of the original Cobra Kai does not appear in the show. Johnny seems to live a pretty solitary and lonely life outside of his work as a sensei. But he does reunite with an old gang in season 2 in order to party with Tommy. All of Johnny's former friends from Cobra Kai are there at the celebration, but they all remark on the absence of Dutch, whom Daniel LaRusso fought during the legendary All Valley tournament, is explained to be serving time in prison, which is why he's not around. The actual reason is that Chad McQueen, the actor who played him, was too busy with commitments to his business, McQueen Racing. The reasoning for Dutch not appearing in the show is actually pretty ironic, since McQueen's story mirrors Daniel LaRusso's own career trajectory. From the first episode of season 1 of Cobra Kai, it is established that LaRusso also found success in the world of vehicles, and it too draws him away from karate. Fact number 29. Will Smith is one of the show's producers. Did you know that? Both William Zabka and Ralph Macchio have executive producer credits on Cobra Kai, but they're not the only stars helping run the show. Will Smith also has a producer credit on Cobra Kai and has a pretty clear reason to be invested in the project. The reason is that Overbook Entertainment, the production company run by Smith and his wife Jada Pinkett Smith, has owned a portion of the rights to the Karate Kid for around several flashbacks to the events of the Karate Kid. But if you were thinking that some footage didn't look totally familiar, there's a good reason for it. Director John G. Avildsen spent hours filming the 1984 film's tournament scene for multiple takes and multiple angles, resulting in a lot of footage that never got used. Rather than being broken up into segments, the final fight from the original Karate Kid was shot all the way through without being interrupted. Both William Zabka and Ralph Macchio described it as the toughest scene in the movie, as they had to shoot the whole sequence without stopping. With that said, that shooting strategy led to a lot of emotional moments, such as when Sabra looked up to the stands to see his own parents sitting there. That shot, as well as 3 new angles of the legendary crane kick, are all included at relevant points throughout Cobra Kai, Cobra Kai, Cobra Kai, Cobra Kai, Cobra Kai. Fact number 27. Solo Maridueña, I'm okay with that pronunciation, had a super intense training regimen. In Cobra Kai, Solo Maridueña plays Miguel Diaz, a bubbly kid who has just moved to the area and winds up getting picked on. Diaz begs Johnny Lawrence to train him, inadvertently rekindling the rivalry between Daniel LaRusso and the Cobra Kai dojo in the process. Given Diaz eventually starts working his way towards being a karate champion, it makes sense that Maridueña's training regimen was the most intense of the cast. He explained that he had one of the steepest learning curves, having to adapt to a huge workload of different exercise programs. He told Glitter Mag Rocks that his training comprised of a daily 2 to 4 hour regimen of working with professional stunts, martial arts, boxing strength, and yoga instructor teams to get me in amazing shape. He went on to say, "It's the hardest thing that I have ever had to do. It wasn't just about learning martial arts, it was about the entire task of learning martial arts and then using it in a way that can be choreographed and filmed." Yeah, I can't imagine that. If you don't know anything, if your body hasn't previously done martial arts, I don't know how you just get into that just for a role. That's cool. Fact number 26 is that Daniel might still be the villain. Ralph Macchio, of course, plays Daniel LaRusso in the Karate Kid movies, the character who the series clearly treats as the hero. After all, it's LaRusso who was trained by the wise Mr. Miyagi. LaRusso who starts out as the underdog and who eventually manages to win the tournament to defeat his rival. With that said, many have theorized that LaRusso is actually the villain, since he constantly picks fights with Johnny Lawrence, escalating the violence and even stealing his girlfriend. Not only does Cobra Kai constantly reframe events from the Karate Kid so we see them from Lawrence's perspective, but it also suggests that LaRusso is continuing his petty ways. In Cobra Kai, LaRusso often makes situations worse with his hot temper and constantly believes the worst of Johnny Lawrence, even when there's actually no reason for him to do so. Cobra Kai complicates Also, this article is way longer than I thought. Okay, and I apologize. I just read through the article and I realized that this is talking about things that could happen in season 3, but season 4 is already out, so I'm sorry if these facts are bad and outdated. I hope you still find them relaxing. This article is giving a lot of description about everything, so I'm probably not going to get to all 30 in this video. All 30. So, let's just get back to 25 and we'll see how close to 1 we get. I think I'm going to skip over any that are like, oh, this might happen in season 3, since season 3 is already out. Fact number 25. Tanner Buchanan has the most martial arts training of anyone in the core cast. Tanner Buchanan, who plays Robbie Keane, the semi-estranged son of Johnny Lawrence, who gets drawn into the world of karate thanks to the kindness of Daniel LaRusso. Keane is in his fair share of difficult and visually impressive fights, so it makes sense that the actor picked to play him would have some karate experience. What you might not have known is that Tanner Buchanan is the most proficient martial artist in the cast of any original Karate Kid movie or Cobra Kai. Buchanan has a purple belt in Taekwondo, about halfway to a black belt, which is more advanced than any of the other teenage cast. In fact, Buchanan's is the most accomplished of anyone in the Miyagi-verse, including both Machio and Mr. Miyagi himself, Pat Morita. The only cast member who can beat Buchanan is the 2010 reboot's Jackie Chan, who of course has a black belt. So the next one says, Hilary Swank could appear in season 3. Did she appear in season 3? Did she appear in season 4? Let me know. Fact number 23. Jacob Bertrand's makeup and hair takes 2 hours to apply. He looks like Sonic the Hedgehog. Jacob Bertrand's character in Cobra Kai definitely has the most outlandish look of the bunch, but it didn't start out that way. Bertrand's character begins as the shy and retiring Eli, who soon gains a mohawk and a back tattoo and starts going by the name Hawk. Hawk's look is a huge part of his character, summing up his motive for staying loyal to Cobra Kai, as well as reminding us of his transformation. His haircut and tattoo also serve to show his physical appearance, transforming as his moral code and motivations do, making them way more than an aesthetic choice. Hawk's signature haircut takes a full hour to apply, and Bertrand also has to sit for roughly half an hour while his back tattoo is painted on. However, it often takes 2 full hours to complete the process, as Bertrand would dance around to keep his spirits up while the painting was being done. It just shows how expensive these productions are. 2 hours every day they film for this guy, all of the martial arts training that other actor had to go through. Fact 22. William Zabka almost said no to the show. Cobra Kai revolves around the performance of Billy Zabka as Johnny Lawrence, the reluctant sensei who who slowly becomes determined to better his students than his own sensei was to him. Sensei was to him. However, it took a seriously compelling pitch to get Sabra on board with the project, since he didn't approve of Lawrence reopening the Cobra Kai. Elaborating on his stance at the Tribeca Film Festival, Zabka said, "It's Pandora's box for him. It's the snake in that bit him, you know. It's not difficult to understand how Zabka came to this conclusion when the Karate Kid trilogy makes an unhealthy nature of the Lawrence's relationship to the Cobra Kai so obvious. Not only does LaRusso object to Lawrence bringing back the Cobra Kai, but Lawrence's own friends, who are former members themselves, also question his decision to do so. In the end, Lawrence decides to keep the Cobra Kai name, but only while staying committed to an entirely different set of morals." Fact number 21. Related. It also took a lot to convince Machio to be on the show. Cobra Kai has proved itself to be a success, with the third season being released in January and the fourth already being commissioned by Netflix, and I just saw that a fifth is also coming. Given that Cobra Kai has been such an obvious slam dunk, it may surprise you to know that neither Zabka or Machio were on board at first. We've already discussed how Zabka was nervous about his character revitalizing the Cobra Kai after all the torment the dojo caused him. Machio, for his part, just felt protective over the Karate Kid legacy in general and was hesitant to say yes to the project after saying no to so many times. It took many meetings with both actors individually for the creators to finally convince them that Cobra Kai was a good idea. Of course, the actors have since settled into the show and have said they are thrilled to return as their iconic characters. Yeah, that must be hard. You do a trilogy that does so well, and then you're just like, okay, like, I don't want to build upon this success, you know, it was a trilogy, it is what it was. And then Netflix coming along. Fact number 20 is that Peyton List was convinced she failed her audition. Peyton List appears in season 2 of Cobra Kai as Tori, the talented martial artist who strikes up a rivalry with a certain someone in the core cast. If you already recognized List, then chances are you've seen her work on the Disney Channel, which includes Jessie and Bunked. Okay. List was apprehensive about auditioning for Cobra Kai and was convinced she hadn't won the role since she auditioned so last minute. Her intuition turned out to be wrong, and she actually aced the audition and was thrilled to be offered the role. List's important to the plot and the core characters increases throughout season 2, and fans predict that she will play a pivotal role in future seasons. Is that true? Just as LaRusso and Lawrence's rivalry causes shockwaves through both dojos, the rivalry between Samantha and Troy is theorized to have a similarly huge consequences. Fact number 19. The show's creators were inspired by How I Met Your Mother plotline. Okay, tell me more. We've already discussed how Cobra Kai occasionally leans into the fan theory that Daniel LaRusso is actually the bad guy. Cobra Kai actually went in this direction after seeing the exact theory play out on the popular TV show How I Met Your Mother. Throughout How I Met Your Mother, Barney Stinson makes constant references to the Karate Kid and explains how he idolizes the hero of the movie. Met Your Mother, but I don't remember that at all. In fact, when Daniel LaRusso, the actor, shows up in the show as himself to congratulate Barney Stinson on his engagement, Stinson is absolutely furious. It is only when William Zabka shows up, having been disguised as a clown, that Stinson calms down. The creators of Cobra Kai saw this twist and were thrilled that the fan theory of Lawrence being the real Karate Kid was popular enough to be referenced in How I Met Your Mother, because that meant it could be built on in Cobra Kai. I love How I Met Your Mother. I wonder if that How I Met Your Father show with Hilary Duff is any good. Fact number 18. Most of the Cobra Kai actors are actually professional dancers. This makes a lot of sense to me. Because I was like the guy who's never done martial arts before, just learning from scratch, and has never moved his body that way. That would be so hard, but I feel like it would be much easier for a dancer. Anyway, despite almost everyone in the Cobra Kai core cast having at least a couple awesome fights under their belt by the end of season 1, most of the actors were not actually martial artists. Despite this, they were specifically chosen based on how well they would adapt to stage fighting, and one marker in particular was used to decide how they would succeed. Specifically, the casting directors tried to pick actors with a background in professional dance or gymnastics. Aside from the main characters, almost all the kids training at either dojo have worked as professional dancers at some point in their careers. It is reasoning that if somebody's used to picking up dance choreography quickly, fight choreography shouldn't be that difficult. There's also the fact that they would have the stamina to learn, rehearse, and shoot the long fight scenes, and would be used to paying specific attention to their movements. Fact number 17. Nicole Brown was not asked to return for season 3. Did you know that? Did you know that Aisha was not asked back? To return for season 3, as the writers couldn't find anything for her to do. That's stupid. Fact number 16. William Zabka and Ralph Macchio are actually great friends in real life. Cobra Kai might have a cast that is comprised of teenagers, but there's no denying that Zabka and Macchio are the heart of the show. Most of all, Cobra Kai centers on the rivalry between Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso and their attempts and inability to put the past behind them. Watching the show could be super frustrating, as the pair continually inch towards some kind of truce, only for situations out of their control to come between them. Even worse, at times, the situations that ruin their fragile peace have been indirectly created by themselves, making the whole thing feel more tragic. If you find that kind of dynamic pretty stressful to watch play out, it might be helpful to remember that Zabka and Macchio are actually super good friends in real life. Though they got on well when the first Karate Kid was filmed in the 80s, the two have been even closer after the passing of Pat Morita in 2005, and have been great friends ever since. Okay, so I've never seen a Karate Kid movie, and because they came out in the 80s, and I guess my parents weren't fans of them, so I never saw them growing up, and this this cast is full of teenagers, so is this show for people who grew up with the Karate Kid and now want to watch these people older, or is it to bring a new generation into the Miyagi-verse? The Miyagi-verse. Somebody let me know. Okay, this is the last one I'm gonna read. It is fact number 15 that this is the second time William Zabka and Diora Bard have played a couple. Johnny Lawrence's plotline in Cobra Kai partly revolves around him trying to pick up the pieces of his personal life and improve his relationships with those he cares about. That impulse leads him to call ex-girlfriend and mother of his son, Shannon Keene, who is played by the actress Diora Bard. Cobra Kai isn't the only project which sees Zabka and Bard playing a couple, since they are also together in Hot Tub Time Machine. Released in 2010, Hot Tub Time Machine is a film about, well, exactly what the title suggests. Zabka plays Rick Steelman in Hot Tub Time Machine, while his girlfriend is played by Bard and is never given a name. However,